माइक में बोलो
जरूरत નથી કન્વર્સેશન નથી અહીંયા જ આવશે
फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर में बैच वाइज
पॉज कर दे सर रिकॉर्डिंग Good afternoon all. Hopefully, I am audible to everyone. Again, good afternoon. I, Shailesh
You are
Panchal.
audible. You are audible.
Okay, ma'am. I, Shailesh Panchal, on behalf of Bhaikaka University, welcome all participants who had to hitch us virtually on a Zoom platform. Since 1974, World Environmental Day has been celebrated every year 5th June, engaging the government, business, and citizen in the effort of addressing pressing environmental issues. World Environmental Day urges all of us to protect our nature surroundings. The theme of World Environmental Day 2021 is ecosystem restoration. Ecosystem restoration can happen by actively planting the trees or by removing pressure on the ecosystem, by protecting environment and reducing the increased level of pollution. Bhaikaka University is celebrate World Environmental Day 2021 by organizing series of webinars for employees and students of Bhaikaka University. The purpose of this webinar is to connect everyone with the world around us and raise the awareness about the issue impacting the environment. 3 days webinar series started from June 2nd to June 4th, 2021. Day before yesterday, June 2nd, 2021, Wednesday, our guest speaker, Dr. K.C. Dalal, who had talked on domestic water conservation. And participant having a key home message is conserving water wisely and be responsible for use it. One among the simplest way to save lots of water is easy to collect it. Rainwater harvesting is important for gathering of rainwater in the large tank and later transfer to the container until it is needed to be used. Rainwater is the best for the garden, super for the irrigation, easy to put in and minimum to maintenance harvesting system. And it's a more sustainable practice. There are endless reasons why we collect the rainwater. Yesterday, June 3rd, 2021, Thursday, our guest speaker was Mr. Mehul Patel, educator and coordinator of Vidyanagar Nature Club, who had talked and shared about plastic and environmental pollution. Plastic waste or plastic pollution is accumulation of the plastics object in the earth environment. So much of what we consume made of the plastic, such as plastic bottles, food container, etc. Because it's inexpensive, yet durable. However, plastic is a slow degrading. It takes 400 years or more due to its chemical structure. Reducing plastic consumption and raise awareness about the plastic recycling is crucial if we are to overcome the problem of the plastic waste, the pollution on our planet. The benefits of reducing plastic consumption include the prevention of pollution by decreasing the amount of new raw material used, save energy, reduce greenhouse gases emission, reduce the amount of waste that needs to be recycled, and save lots of rupees. Today, June 4th, 2021, Friday, our guest speaker, Mr. Dhaval Patel, Managing Trustee, Vidyanagar Nature Club, will be emphasizing on the importance importance of the environment by pre-recorded videos. Now, I might wish to Dr. Vidyanagar from the Patel Institute of Physiotherapy to deliver welcome address. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Shailesh sir. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Dr. Vidyanagar, on behalf of Bhaikaka University, would like to extend a special welcome to all. World Environment Day is observed across the world on 5th June in order to create awareness amongst people about the importance of preserving nature and environment. World Environment Day reminds us to strengthen the world and ensure that nature is preserved at all cost. It throws light on the causes which are causing serious harm to our environment. As the saying goes, every little deed matters. On this occasion, it is essential for all to realize that when it comes to saving the environment, no matter how small a step you are taking to lead a greener and cleaner environment, it does make a difference. Taking this into account, our today's talk is on importance of environment. I feel privileged to have this opportunity to invite our today's guest speaker, Mr. Dhaval Patel, Managing Trustee of Vidyanagar Nature Club. Mr. Dhaval Patel has started VNC Vidyanagar Nature Club in 1988 when he was 17 years old. He is the founder and full-time trustee of Voluntary Nature Conservancy. He looks after all day-to-day activities. He is also co-opted member of Animal Welfare Board of India, Secretary of Bhaikaka Foundation, and a trustee of Sardar Vallabhbhai Trust. He was involved in the Nature Club movement by WWF. Currently, he has been moved to USA and managing VNC USA, which is also registered as Voluntary Nature Conservancy in USA. Funding for the organization is mostly handled by him. I express the appreciation for the work he is doing. Now, I would like to request Mr. Dhaval Patel to begin with his talk. Thank you.
Fifth June, World Environment Day. We always remember certain days to be celebrated. But looking at the fact, the world is passing through an environmental crisis. I don't think there is anything to be celebrated. Yes, it is to be observed. And we need to take action right now. Otherwise, it is too late. Just recently, I heard a news that a big iceberg was dislodged from polar region. Now, that is very alarming. There are scientists who are saying that they may have miscalculated or misestimated the rate of global warming. It is way more faster than we can ever imagine. What is environment? Why it is important to us? Is it everything for us? Or it is okay, it has got some importance but not too important for us. The place where I am sitting right now, can be called environment. The trees behind me, the greenery, if you see, they are beautiful trees. In front of me, there is a beautiful lake, freshwater lake, which is very clean. The trees, which are very, very huge. The air, the crispness in the air. This is all environment around us. If we say the importance of environment, there might be different opinion from many people, but for me, environment is everything, because the air which we breathe must be clean, must be pure, otherwise it will affect my health. The water which we drink must be pure, otherwise it will affect my health. The food which we eat must be pure, otherwise it will affect my health. So my health is directly connected with the health of environment, because the air, water, food, everything is environment. And if that is important for us, our health is important for us, environment should be important for us. The recent pandemic has forced many people to open their eyes, to know or to realize that they have made some mistakes. And the biggest mistake which I see is we have disconnected ourselves from the environment, and thus we are far away from the nature, and as a result of that, our immunity has declined. Our immunity has declined, and we are more susceptible to attacks from the viruses, or rather say more damage from that virus. There was so many cries about boosting their immunity. How can you boost your immunity if your food, if your water, if your air is not pure? You cannot increase your immunity. On the contrary, if something is not pure, your immunity is going to go down. And that has made us realize that yes, we were wrong somewhere. And when it comes to environment, it is very easy to blame it on somebody else. Yes, believe me. I would like to blame it on the politician, or maybe industries, or maybe somebody else. But the fact is that it is me who is responsible for the deterioration of the environment. It is you who are also responsible same way for the deterioration of the environment. We all collectively are responsible, because we choose convenience rather than the necessity. The convenience dominated our lives, so much so that we wanted convenience in each and everything, the small things. And we believed that convenience should be priority, not the necessity. I'll just give you one example. How convenient it is to purchase a bottle of water when you go out and throw it conveniently after using it anywhere. If you are conscious enough, you'll throw it into the garbage can. But do you think that it is going to help environment by just throwing it into the garbage can? No. Rather than being that convenient, we should have focused on being little inconvenient. If we thought about the need of water when we go out, we would have carried a bottle of water from home, had the water from it, and brought back that water bottle back home to be reused, rather than throwing it into garbage. The use and throw culture, which we rushed into, is culture of convenience. There are so many things which we think it has to be that way only now, because we never thought how our great grandfather or grandfather were living. Ask your grandmother, did they use water bottles? Used to purchase water bottles whenever they went out? Maybe no. Did they use the styrofoam plates or paper plates or plastic plates, disposable plates? No. Yes, they used disposable, but they were made of leaves, which was 100% biodegradable. And there was no industry for mining that leaves. But now we all want everything to be industrialized. We all want into the bulk. We never think about the necessity or the consequences which is going to be coming after our usage. If we ever gave any thought about the consequences of the things, we would have stopped. Today, I would like to request you all just to watch your steps. Watch your steps, take small steps towards the conservation. Instead of throwing the plastic bags into the garbage, the first stop should be stop asking for the plastic bags. Don't ask for the plastic bags. Carry a cloth bag with you. If you can walk, avoid the use of vehicles. If you can carpool, that is a better option. If you can go by public transport, that is a far, far more better option than using your own vehicle. There are situations where you won't get the facility of carpooling or maybe public transport, but at least you can try wherever it is possible. We will hear a lot of things about the reducing our carbon footprint. It is very good thing that you should reduce our carbon footprint. You will hear a lot of things about recycling. Yes, it is very good about to do recycling. But ask yourself, how much recycled things have you ever used? Do you have any idea what are the percentage of the plastic being produced are recycled? Do you? It is less than 5% of the total produced plastic which has ever been recycled. Recycling is just a hoax. Nobody is recycling. And it is very, very expensive to recycle that certain things. As I said, recycling is not happening, or it is not a feasible means. I request all of you to concentrate on first step, reduce. Reduce your production of garbage. Reduce your production of waste material. Reduce your use of unnecessary things. Second step is reuse. Whatever you cannot reduce, try to reuse. Third step or third option is recycle. As I said earlier, plastic is not recycled. More than 5% which has ever been produced. So remember, there are a few things which has to stop right now, like use of plastic bags, use of plastic bottles, because they are not recycled. Nobody is recycling, not even in the countries like USA. What they are just doing is just sending it over to the third world countries to be garbage. There are few countries which are now realizing that this is not right thing, and they are just throwing away the or saying no to the garbage from other developing countries. So please reduce, reuse, and then recycle. And make sure that you recycle it. Recycling is always very expensive when it comes to producing new plastic. So when you reduce, you don't have to worry about the garbage. When you reduce, you don't have to worry about the carbon footprint. When you reduce, you don't have to worry about spending more money. So eventually you are a winner. Yes. I have been an advocate of taking people back to the nature. We have cut off ourselves from the nature, and while I was there, my main goal was to take as many as people close to the nature, contact or connect them with the nature so that they can realize the beauty of nature. Just try to go to a park where you see a lot of trees. Try to hug a tree, and you'll realize that it is a living thing and it is recharging you. So please try to do that. Recharge yourself. Get some energy from nature. The real energy flows from environment, and that is what is keeping us alive. We must get ourselves recharged. We must get boost of immunity by being in nature. And while you are in nature, try to discard as much unwanted things as you can. And as I previously said, we are driven by convenience, not by the necessity. Previously, it used to be said that necessity is mother of invention. But now, if you are enlightened, you will think that your necessity is driven by the convenience. How convenient it is for us decides our necessity. So please try to differentiate between the necessity and convenience, need and wants. Use whatever you need. Don't do whatever you just want. Nature is not going anywhere. Nature is going to stay here. Those who said that if we don't care for nature, there won't be any nature. No, I say that if you don't care for nature, there won't be you. And we don't have any capacity to control nature. Do you think humans are the most dominant in this world? Our population is the most dominant population in this world? Forget it. Even by the weight of the human beings, small ant, a very small ant, if you calculate the total weight of all the ants in the world, it is more than all human beings together. So we are not the most dominant. And forget about dominance. All the wars have happened for the dominance. When you try to dominate anybody, the war is unavoidable. If you try to dominate nature, you are at war with nature. So don't try to dominate the nature. Try to live with the nature, and nature will help you not only survive, but thrive. So remember, living with nature is the solution, not warring with the nature. Living with the environment is the solution, not warring with the environment. make it as simple as possible. Life could be simple, easy, and more rewarding. Try to take small steps whenever possible. I'm attaching a presentation and small clips along with this recording. As such, for whole my life, I have been communicating with the live audience. And this is the first time I'm recording myself to something which is not live, which is not alive. So I may have made many mistakes while recording this message. Let us hope that we all can talk to each other sooner in person rather than through camera. Till then, watch your steps, watch your actions, and yes, enough of awareness now. It is time for action. If you don't act, the awareness is going to be wasted. We don't need to be aware now. We should be aware by now. It is high time. Now it is time for the action. And yes, planting a tree is very good, but saving a tree is better than planting a tree, because that tree has taken all the hard work, all the years to grow. So first, try to preserve whatever environment we have. Second, try to enhance the environment. Try to restore the environment. And thank you very much for listening to me. I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye.
Air pollution consists of chemicals or particles in the atmosphere that pose serious health and environmental threats. But what causes air pollution, and what does it mean for our planet? Some air pollution comes from natural sources like volcanic eruptions, wildfires, or allergens. But most air pollution results from human activities, such as energy use and agriculture. There are different types of human-made air pollution. When we burn fossil fuels to produce energy, they release greenhouse gases into the air. These emissions, such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases, trap heat from the sun in Earth's atmosphere, leading to a rise in global temperatures. This creates a cycle where air pollution contributes to climate change, and climate change creates higher temperatures. In turn, higher temperatures intensify some types of air pollution. For example, climate change increases smog because it forms in the presence of high heat and increased levels of ultraviolet radiation. More frequent extreme weather, such as flooding, contributes to damp conditions, and therefore to a rise in mold. Warmer weather also leads to longer pollen seasons, and therefore more pollen production. Smog is a type of air pollution that reduces visibility and has serious health effects. Smog can be divided into two categories: sulfurous and photochemical. Sulfurous smog is made up of chemical compounds called sulfur oxides. It occurs when burning sulfur-bearing fossil fuels such as coal. Photochemical smog, also called ground-level ozone, is a result of the reaction between sunlight, nitrogen oxides, and volatile organic compounds. Nitrogen oxides come from car exhaust, coal power plants, and factory emissions. Volatile organic compounds are released from gasoline, paints, and many cleaning solvents. Smog not only creates a brown haze that reduces visibility, but also harms plants, irritates the eyes, and causes respiratory distress. Another category of air pollution is toxic pollutants. These are chemicals such as mercury, lead, dioxins, and benzene that are released during gas or coal combustion, waste incineration, or burning of gasoline. In addition to adverse environmental effects, toxic air pollution can cause serious health problems such as cancer, reproductive complications, and birth defects. While air pollution has many consequences for our planet, there are solutions. We can limit toxic pollutants, smog, and greenhouse gases by decreasing the use of fossil fuels, such as in transportation, manufacturing, and electricity generation. Reducing air pollution not only contributes to a cleaner environment and better human health, but can also slow the rate of global warming.
Each one of us sends 64 tons of waste to the landfill during our lives. That's nearly 4 of these trucks filled to the brim. And there are more than 300 million of us, which means that together every year we generate 246 million tons of waste. We throw something away, and as far as we're concerned, that's the end of it. But it's not really the end at all. For example, as a nation, we throw away 60 million plastic bottles every day. That means that every second we throw out 694 plastic bottles. We also toss out 11 million tons of glass bottles and jars every year. That's the same weight as 440 Titanics or 30 Empire State Buildings. Most of our food has to be delivered as cleanly and conveniently as possible. We like everything nicely washed, packed, and especially wrapped. From cereal and pizza to meat and fish, we insist our food be untouched by human hands as we tear our way through mountains of packaging. Much of it is plastic. To make it easier to carry our packages home, we slip them into another plastic bag. Then, when we've unpacked our groceries, we throw all that packaging away in yet another plastic bag in the trash can. Over a lifetime, we'll each throw away enough of it to fill up one of those trucks. That's 29,700 pounds, or just under 15 tons of it. All tossed out by each and every one of us. It's not just plastic wrappers that we throw away. We also toss a huge amount of aluminum into the trash, and most of it is soda cans. And we dispose of 100 million aluminum and steel cans every day, enough to build a roof over all of New York City. That's 36 billion cans tossed every year.
A few years ago, I found myself looking for the most cost-effective way to be stylish. So naturally, I wound up at my local thrift store. But as I was sorting through the endless racks of clothes, I started to ask myself, what happens to all the clothes that I don't buy? This averages out to be roughly 200 t-shirts per person, ending up in the garbage. It seems that the industry creates products that are designed to be comfortable, trendy, and designed to be expressive, but aren't really designed to be sustainable or recyclable. But I think that can change. Take this motorcycle jacket as an example. It's a pretty standard jacket with its buttons and its zippers and its trim. But in order for us to efficiently recycle a jacket like this, we need to be able to easily remove these items and quickly get down to just the fabric. We could redesign this jacket to have a hidden wire frame. This invisible fishbone structure can have all of these extra items, the zippers and the buttons and the trim, sewn into it, and then attached to the fabric. So at the end of the jacket's life, all you have to do is remove this fishbone and the fabric comes with it, a lot quicker and a lot easier than before. For most of the types of clothes that we have in our closet, the average lifespan of these items is about 3 years. In Canada, we throw away enough clothing to fill the largest stadium in Toronto, one that seats 60,000 people with a mountain of clothes 3 times the size of that stadium. But what if we were able to compost these items rather than throw them in the trash bin? The environmental savings could be huge, and all we would have to do is start to shift more of our resources to start to produce more of these items using more natural fibers, like 100% organic cotton. Currently, 10 to 20% of the harsh chemical dye that we use end up in water bodies that neighbor production hubs in developing nations. The tricky thing is that these harsh chemicals are really effective at keeping a garment a specific color for a long period of time. It's these harsh chemicals that keep that bright red dress bright red for so many years. But what if we were able to use something different? What if we were able to use spices and herbs to dye our clothes? This shirt, for example, I dyed at home using turmeric before coming here today. If we were able to apply this, or a similar process on a commercial scale, then our need to rely on these harsh chemical dyes for our clothes can be easily reduced. There's no fix-all, and there's no one-step solution, but we can get started by designing clothes with their depth in mind. The fashion industry is the perfect industry to experiment with and embrace change that could one day get us to the sustainable future we so desperately need.
This is the video not from anywhere else. This is from our Anand, Vidyanagar. This is from our Lambel dump yard. You can see the smoke traveling for miles and miles. We dump the garbage and then we burn it because we don't have so much of land. So then burning produces a lot of toxins. And you know what toxins can do to your health, our health. This is from Nadia. Enter the Nadia. With a lot of garbage. This is condition of
This is home. Which is moving out to the center, and so it is not treated anywhere in India, almost anywhere. I can say that. Yes. And this way, this foam will enter the cycle, water cycle, and this will eventually come back to us. Sewage directly into the canal. And this water, which is flowing in the canal, which is absolutely black, strewn with a lot of toxins and everything, is directly pumped out to irrigate the farm. Yes, irrigate the farms. And that food comes back to us. This is our Sabarmati River, just after the beautiful riverfront ends. Is this the way we treat our rivers? And we call our rivers our mother. Is this the way we treat our mother? Thousands of gallons of water just discharged from sewage pump without any treatment into Sabarmati River. This is the condition which happens after the oxygen level is depleted into the pond because of the garbage. Our land is with this, laden with this type of garbage bags. This particular plastic was derived from a cow. Yes, from a cow. When a cow died, everything else was taken away. Rather, you can say the animals ate away the meat, skin was taken away by the skinners, even the bones were taken away by the calcium industry, and this was left behind. This came out of stomach of a cow. This is the condition of our hill station. Cow, dogs foraging into a garbage heap. There you will find that there's also medical waste. You can see this. Anand Nagar Palika. It is the government who is also dumping, not only common people. Then it is burned so that the volume gets reduced and they can dump more of it. Look at this. Small children. What will be their immunity after going through all this? I talked about the immunity and environment. That time I said that pollution is really decreasing our immunity, and this is how it is. And you can see that you can live without so many things, without being convenient. You have to decide upon the need, the necessity. Let us all try to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. With this video message and PowerPoint presentation, Dhaval sir is sensitized about the problem, how much bigger and what small step can be taken away to each one of us. Now we are moving toward the ending of the session. Now I would like to invite respected Dr. Utpala Kharod Madam, Provost Bhaikaka University, to deliver keynote message for all of us. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Shailesh bhai. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you all for joining today's webinar and webinars which were conducted yesterday and day before yesterday. As Dhaval bhai said, the time of being aware is done. It is a time for action. One person, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh has also given a sentence: "No words, act." I think it is very appropriate for us to remind, in context of World Environment Day, that what we can do. And considering its importance, Bhaikaka University decided to hold 3 days webinar, which we had. And I sincerely thank Shailesh bhai Panchal, Professor Nursing College, G.H. Patel School and College of Nursing, for coordinating this 3 days webinar. And I'm also very happy that G.H. Patel School and College of Nursing, they also planned some activities which will be starting in coming days, including panel discussion. Many congratulations. This college has taken a very initiative, not only for the activities at the college level, but at the university level. I'm reminded of what Abdul Kalam used to say when he used to talk to the students. એ જ્યારે students ને મળતા તમારા જેવાને, કદાચ એવું બને કે આ repetition હોય, મેં તમને લોકોને પહેલા કીધું પણ હોય, પણ never mind, certain good things are worth repeating. So he used to ask the students, when he used to meet young students like you, that how you want to be remembered as. લોકો તમને કઈ રીતે યાદ રાખે એ ગમશે, as ordinary persons or as extraordinary persons. So obviously, મોટાભાગના students એમ જ જવાબ આપતા કે we would like to be remembered as extraordinary persons. We don't want to live a life of an ordinary person. તો આજે તમારી પાસે બે choice છે. એક choice, we continue living the way we were living and the way our generation has been living. And another choice is be serious. Be serious in real sense and let us try to make some difference. એટલે આપણે જે એક વધારે અગેન ભલે એમ ધવલ એમ આપણે અવેર તો થઈ જ ગયા, એ સમય તો ગયો, પણ મને લાગે છે કે એ અવેરનેસ કોઈ કામની નથી કે જો એક્શનમાં એ પરિણમે નહીં. એટલે તમારે નક્કી કરવાનું છે કે તમારી પાસે કઈ ચોઈસ તમે લો છો. જો તમને લાગે કે ના, I want to make some difference, not for the sake of environment. Let us be very clear. આપણે જે એમ કહીએ છીએ કે save environment, પણ અહીંયા આગળ કંઈક લખવાની જરૂર છે કે save environment to save ourselves. અમારી પેઢી તો હવે એના થોડાક વર્ષો રહ્યા, પણ જે કંઈ કરવાનું છે એ તમારા ફ્યુચર માટે છે અને તમારા, I mean, I'm talking to most of the young people around, તમારા ફ્યુચર માટે અને તમારે પછીની જનરેશન માટે કરવાનું છે. એટલે આમ જો તો મને લાગે છે કે સેલ્ફિશ થાઓ, એમ એવું કુદરત આપણને કહે છે કે તમે સેલ્ફિશ થાઓ તો પણ તમને ખબર પડશે કે કારણ કે આપણે આપણી જાત સાચવવાની છે, કારણ કે આપણે પ્યોર વોટર જોઈએ છે, કારણ કે આપણને પ્યોર ફૂડ જોઈએ છે, કારણ કે આપણને પ્યોર હવા જોઈએ છે, એટલા માટે થઈને પણ એન્વાયરમેન્ટને સાચવો. તો જે પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ હ્યુમન બે પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ માણસોએ ક્રિએટ કર્યા છે, એ કોઈ આવીને પશુ પક્ષી તો એને સેટલ નથી કરવાના, એ ઇશ્યુ આપણે જ સોલ્વ કરવાનું છે. So I think that time we are already running out of time. I'm talking in respect of improving the environment. Enough damage is done. So why not to start reversing the process? Why not to start restoring ecosystem which is already disturbed now? અને એમાં આઈ થિંક 3 દિવસના મેસેજ જ હું ફરી રિપીટ કરું છું કે આપણે ક્યાંક એવું નક્કી કરી શકીએ કે કોઈ નાના આપણે સ્ટેપ્સ છે કે નહીં. કારણ કે જો આપણે બધા એમ જ વિચારે કે એન્વાયરમેન્ટ તો બહુ મોટો ઇશ્યુ છે, એમાં આપણે એક ખાલી રોજ બોટલ લઈને નીકળે શું ફરક પડશે, કે આપણે પ્લાસ્ટિક વાળાને ના પાડી તો શું ફરક પડશે. તો જો બધા જ આવી રીતે કરે તો it will not be started from anywhere. Rather, you set an example in front of your classmates, in front of your family members, to the society, to your to your younger brothers and sisters. Then only that handling will take place. વધારે ને વધારે લોકો એમાં જોઈન થશે અને ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક કોઈ એવી અસર જોવા મળશે. So, what we are thinking that why can't we create a community at Bhaikaka University, the community which will work for conservation of the environment, for protection of the environment. Now the steps can be at individual level, steps can be at collective level, પણ એવું થાય એ બહુ જરૂરી છે કારણ કે એ બહુ જરૂરી છે કારણ કે એના વગર આપણું કોઈ પણ જાતનું ફોર્મલ એજ્યુકેશન કામનું નથી. જો આપણે if we shut our ears, we close our eyes to something which is happening around. એટલે એક વિચાર છે કે ગૂગલ ફોર્મ તમને મળશે અને ગૂગલ ફોર્મ મળશે એમાં અમે અમારા વ્યૂઝ જાણીશું. બી ઓનેસ્ટ, ખાલી બધા હા નહીં કરતા. તમે જે રિયલી ફીલ કરો છો એ પ્રમાણે તમે લખજો. અમારો પર્પઝ એ હશે કે જાણીએ કે we will be circulating it for the faculty members and other employees also. એક જાણવા માંગીશું કે are you interested in any kind of such activities? Suppose આપણે યુનિવર્સિટીમાં આવો કોઈ સેલ, આવો કોઈ એક પ્લેટફોર્મ આપણે ઊભું કરીએ કે જ્યાં તમે લોકો આવીને તમારા આઈડિયા શેર કરો. તમે કોઈ ઇનોવેશનથી તમે કંઈક આનો સૂઝ્યું હોય તમને ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલ લેવલે કે કલેક્ટિવલી એફર્ટ્સ કરવા માટે, તો તમે એમાં શેર કરી શકો. અને તો જે આપણે કંઈ નક્કી કરી, માનો કે we try to collect plastics from all the corners of the campus, એવું કંઈ આપણે કરીએ તો તમે એમાં ઇન્ટરેસ્ટેડ છો કે નહીં. Of course, nothing great will be expected from you. So be honest. જો અમને બધા ફોર્મ એવા મળશે કે ના તમને કોઈને ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ નથી તો આ કંઈ ફોર્સફુલી કરવાની વાત નથી. You should feel passionately feel about doing something different for your own self and for the society. ત્યારે જ આ થશે. So let us be inconvenient. અને જે આ 3 મંત્ર છે એ ખરેખર it's so important કે reduce the use, reuse and then only think about recycle. એટલે એક જો જે લોકોને એમાં ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ હશે એ લોકોએ ક્યાંક ને ક્યાંક વર્ડ સાંભળ્યો હશે, સસ્ટેનેબિલિટી. આ વર્ડ આવ્યા કરે છે વારે ઘડીએ. how to become sustainable, how our lifestyle should be such that there is no worsening of the world. તો એક આવી ટર્મિનોલોજી થી આપણે ફેમિલિયર થઈશું, આવા જુદા સેશન્સ કરીશું. ખાલી વર્લ્ડ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ ડે છે એટલા માટે જ આ કર્યું છે. એનો એક પર્પઝ હોય છે કારણ કે વી વોન્ટ ટુ સેન્સિટાઇઝ પીપલ અરાઉન્ડ. બટ ઓલ એવું નથી કે હવે આપણે સીધા 5મી જૂન 2022માં મળીશું. વી વિલ ડેફિનેટલી હેવ experts in this field who will be talking about some solutions, some measures which we can take in small way. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shailesh bhai, once again, and the entire team of GH Patel School and College of Nursing for initiating these events for 5 to 6 days, 3+4, for the purpose. Thank you so much.
A very good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Dr. Sonal Chitroda, considered it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Bhaikaka University. Very first of all, I would like to thank our special guest speaker, Mr. Dhaval Patel, for sharing his video in which he has wonderfully explained the importance of environment and how, and also he gave us an alarming message to reduce the use of plastic and also to reuse the plastics to save or protect our environment, which is responsible for our good health. Event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and a bird eye for details. So I specially thank to our Provost Madam, Dr. Utpala Kharod Madam, for her valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement during this webinar. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by you, who is very motivated and dedicated member of our university. Also, a big thank you to Dr. Shailesh Panchal sir and all the staff members who have directly or indirectly involved for their continuous involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of this webinar beyond their comfort zones. I'd also like to thank our technical team for all errorless technical arrangements during this webinar. I'd also like to thank all our beloved participants for their continuous involvement and showing their interest in this webinar. So once again, thank you to all who have present here. Thank you so much.
And lastly, I just want to be announced about that. All 3 days webinar video will be available shortly on YouTube channel of Nursing College through Registrar Office. The link will be shared to everyone. So please, for future reference, you can browse that links. Thank you, all of you.